Yo, YouTube, what's up with your boy? Sports and Fitness Rants. I'm back, guys. Click that like button. Subscribe to my channel. What's up, y'all? Welcome back, guys. Welcome back, man. Got another great video for you guys today, as usual, man. You guys know the deal on this channel. It's all about setting the record straight, stopping the lies, stopping the narratives, stopping them from rewriting history. And in this video, I'm going to talk briefly about, the fact that no one seems to respect LeBron James' stats, man. These quote-unquote stats that he's been putting up over the last 5, 6, 7 years now. No one respects these stats, man. And I saw, a bunch of people talking about Charles Barkley and some of the comments that Charles Barkley made about LeBron James and these 30-point games that he has. And he's, close to passing Michael Jordan for most 30-point games in NBA's history. Once again, Charles Barkley laughed at this. And we always laugh. We laugh at LeBron James and these stats that they celebrate. Oh, LeBron James has a 10-point streak, the longest streak in NBA's history in the regular season for most consecutive 10-point game, double-digit scoring. It's an absolute joke. These numbers that LeBron James gets celebrated for, it's mediocrity. And when we think about the 30-point games, and I believe he's 3 or 4 away from surpassing Michael Jordan's 30-point games, Charles Barkley laughed and said, how many games has LeBron James played more than Michael Jordan? How many seasons longer has LeBron James played than Michael Jordan? And he laughed. He's like, stop this. This is insane right now that he's still chasing Michael Jordan after all these years. You're still chasing this man. It's crazy. Michael Jordan wasn't chasing anyone. He was chasing greatness. He was chasing the championships. That's what he was chasing. When you talk about him chasing guys like Magic and Bird, it was the championships, not their stats. And we're going to talk about this video because no one respects LeBron James' numbers, man. And Charles Barkley laughed, and we all laughed. And I want to thank you guys, everyone across the world. Everyone across the states has been supporting my channel. Once again, guys, I am truly humbled. Much respect to all the true basketball fans out there that are standing up, man. Thank you, guys. It means a lot, man. Shout out to everybody in the membership. And you guys know what to do, man. Turn the volume all the way up. Hit that play button. Remember, these videos are for educational purposes. And let's roll. So, yes, guys, like I said, man, I wanted to talk briefly about how no one respects LeBron James' numbers, man. Nobody does, man. Now, we know the true basketball fans, people like me and you, we don't respect LeBron James and those corny fake stats that he's been putting up over the last 6, 7, 8, 9 years now. No one respects this stuff, man. So when we talk about Charles Barkley, and I told you, I saw some people made some videos about Charles Barkley's comments, and I listened to the clip of Charles Barkley, or I watched the clip of Charles Barkley and the comments that he made when they were referring to LeBron James and the amount of 30-point games that he's had in his career. And Charles Barkley laughed. And he, once again, he said, how many games has LeBron James played more than Michael Jordan? How many seasons more has LeBron James played than Michael Jordan? And he still hasn't passed Michael Jordan in 30-point games? He's still chasing Michael Jordan in 30-point games? It's laughable, guys. It's literally laughable for anyone to believe that LeBron James is anywhere close to Michael Jordan in any aspect of the game. LeBron James does nothing better than Michael Jordan, guys. Nothing. I love when I hear LeBron James fans, oh, you know that LeBron James is a better passer than Michael Jordan. Is he really? He's a better passer than Michael Jordan? What does that even if we said he's a better passer than Michael Jordan, what does that have to do with anything? Is LeBron James one of the great passers in NBA's history? No, he's not. He's not a top 5, top 10 passer in NBA's history, guys. I hate to tell you that, but he's not, man. Once again, how many turnovers has LeBron James had in his career? So how great is his passing? His passing is basic at best, guys. Basic passes. Once again, don't talk to me about his assist numbers that are inflated in this weak era. How many assists would Michael Jordan have, once again, if he didn't have to score all the time for the Chicago Bulls? How many plays did Michael Jordan play with that were scores? Did Michael Jordan play with a Dwayne Wade or a Chris Bosh? Did he play with a Kyrie Irving or a Kevin Love? Did he play with an Anthony Davis? He never played with any of these guys like they're on the offensive end. Scottie Pippen's a great player, man. Don't get me wrong. A very great overall player, Scottie Pippen, man. But he was never a consistent scorer like that. Michael Jordan could never sit back and then let Scottie Pippen score 40 points in an NBA Finals game like Kyrie Irving did twice alongside LeBron James. He could never sit back and let, Scottie Pippen take over like a Dwayne Wade did when they played against the Boston Celtics in the playoffs that season. Right? Dwayne Wade led them in scoring against the Celtics. That was never Scottie Pippen. He never played with anyone like that. Horace Grant? No. Dennis Rodman? Tony Kukoc? No. There was no one out there that was going to put points up consistently when it mattered most. And so it would allow Michael Jordan to take a back seat, so to speak. LeBron James has had that kind of help. So when we talk about the stats of LeBron James and we talk about the overall career of LeBron James, once again, this is where he gets exposed when we talk about the team hopping, the forming of the super teams, and a lack of development of his overall game. When they talk about LeBron James scoring, right? And Charles Barkley laughs about how many 30-point games he has compared to Michael Jordan, even though he's played, what? If we be real here, And we can count the Wizards years. Let's count the Wizards years. But let's not count the year that Michael Jordan came back from the foot injury. You cannot count that as a full season. He had a legit foot injury. He broke his foot. It wasn't like he was lollygagging out there or he load managed. The man broke his foot. So we don't count that season. And then once the man was retired, came back and played, 20-some games in the 1994-95 season. So those are not full seasons. So if we think about full seasons, Michael Jordan played 13 full seasons. Like I said, we count the Wizards years. 13 full seasons. And even that one year, the Wizards, it wasn't a full season. He had the knee injury. But let's say he played 13 full seasons. Out of those 13 full seasons, LeBron James has played, 22 seasons or 21 full seasons. He's in the 22nd season now, currently. LeBron James has played over 1,500 games. I believe Michael Jordan played 1,070 games, something like that, right? So LeBron James has essentially played over 500 more games than Michael Jordan, about 500 more games than Michael Jordan, and it equates to about almost 10 more seasons than Michael Jordan. If Michael Jordan played 13 full seasons, LeBron James is in his 22nd season. That's almost 10 full seasons more than Michael Jordan. 500 games almost. And you still haven't passed him in 30-point games? That's insane. That's what Charles Barkley's highlighting. That's what he's saying. It's ridiculous for anyone to compare these two guys. It's not the same. All that does is expose, when people say, oh, LeBron James is only 3 away from Michael Jordan 30-point games, they think that's impressive. They think, oh, wow, LeBron James is about to pass Michael. No, that all you're doing is exposing LeBron James. That's not impressive. No one's impressed with LeBron James playing 500 more games than Michael Jordan, 10 more seasons than Michael Jordan, and then passing Michael Jordan 30-point games now. I told you just last year, LeBron James passed Michael Jordan in offensive rebounds. How is that possible for a 6'9" forward in this week's soft little era with short guys? It's the shortest era in NBA's history, guys. Remember that on average, this is the shortest era in NBA's history. Don't believe the hype when they say bigger, stronger, faster. They're not. In this little era, weak era, it took him all those years to get more offensive rebounds than a 6'6" shooting guard in that era. That exposes LeBron James. That doesn't show how great he is and all the things that he's doing. That exposes him. It took you all that time to pass Michael Jordan in offensive rebounds. It exposed his lack of effort, his lack of hustle, and just a lack of ability to rebound. He's not a great rebounder. He's mediocre. Meanwhile, Michael Jordan, for his position, is a very good rebounder. Very good rebounder. One of the great rebounds at that position. He's up there with the Clyde Drexlers as far as rebounding prowess goes. LeBron James at the small forward position, is he one of the great rebounders? No, he's nowhere near that. Nowhere near a very good or top rebounder at that position. He's not a better rebounder than Dominique Wilkins. He's not a better rebounder than Larry Bird. He wasn't a better rebounder than Dr. J. He's not a better rebounder than Elgin Baylor. He wasn't a better rebounder than Scottie Pippen. I mean, I don't understand it. He wasn't a better rebounder than Sean Marion. Some of these small forwards that play in the NBA, he's just not better than these guys, man. So once again, Michael Jordan to me is probably a top 5 rebounder at that position. When you think about the offensive rebounds combined with his defensive rebounding ability, I mean, look at Michael Jordan put back free throws, put back dunks on the free throw line. That goes offensive rebounds. That's his prowess right there. That's his instincts, his timing. LeBron James can't sniff that stuff, man. So once again, LeBron James' longevity stats are frauds and no one respects these stats that he's putting up. And that's why Charles Barkley laughed. That's why we all laugh. Think about it. I always tell you guys on this channel, LeBron James still hasn't passed Michael Jordan in personal fouls. Personal fouls. You haven't passed Michael Jordan in personal fouls. Once again, you played over 500, almost more 500 more games than Michael Jordan. All these seasons you've been playing. You haven't passed Michael Jordan in personal fouls. Once again, that's not showing LeBron James' greatness. That's exposing him and his lack of defensive effort and hustle on the defensive end. We all know he ain't giving the same effort that Michael Jordan was on the defensive end. It's night and day. Once again, showing and improving with the lack of fouls called against LeBron James. You can't get fouls called if you're not playing defense that consistently. You're not giving that effort, right? But it also goes to, once again, when we talk about the NBA helping LeBron James and assisting LeBron James. I love when LeBron James fans talk about Michael Jordan. Oh, remember that comment we did the other day? Oh, you can't get too close to Michael. It's a foul. You had a LeBron James fan quoting Magic Johnson in my comment section, trying to make it seem like Michael Jordan never got fouls called against him, or if you touched Michael Jordan, they called a foul. Meanwhile, Michael Jordan led the league in free throw attempts one time in his career. The NBA complained about that. The NBA coaches, general managers, players were complaining that a rookie, or not a rookie, a young star was leading the league in free throw attempts that early in his career. I believe that was the 3rd or 4th season of his career. They complained about Michael Jordan to stop getting free throws. It's the complete opposite for LeBron James. No one complains about him. This man's always complaining. He's always complaining about the lack of calls. Oh, I got to learn to flop. What? You got to learn to flop? They never call fouls against you. What are you talking about, man? This guy's a clown. Once again, LeBron James and his fraudulent stats, no one respects this fool, man, for him to make it seem like he don't get no calls. You get all the calls. Your team is always getting calls. So once again, does anybody respect LeBron James and his stats? No. The man's still playing all these years, hasn't passed Michael Jordan personal fouls, just passed him in offensive rebounds, still haven't passed him in 30-point games. We know he ain't passed him in 40-point games or 50-point games. We know that for a fact because LeBron James don't score the ball like that. Scoring 30 points in this weak fraudulent era is not impressive, man. Michael Jordan was averaging 30. Averaging, not scoring 30. He was averaging 30 in an era where the Bulls were scoring 98 points, 95 points, maybe 100 points. Scoring 30 points in this era when teams are averaging 115, 120, 120 points a game, not impressive. There were games that Michael Jordan had 35 points, 36, 37 points in a game. The Bulls scored 88 points. He had over a third of their points. Think about the NBA Finals, Game 6, 1998. Michael Jordan scored, what, 45 points in that game? The Bulls scored 88? He had more than half of their points. It's way more impressive when you're doing that as opposed to these guys now scoring 40 points almost every single night. Someone drops 40, not impressive at all. This is why people say Michael Jordan would average 40, 50 in this era because of his scoring ability, the way that he could score points. But more importantly, guys, Michael Jordan's scoring impacted wins. He was doing this while winning. Michael Jordan was not leading the league in scoring, chucking up 23, 24, 25 shots a game on a mediocre basketball team that was winning 35, 40 games every season. The Bulls were a legit contender from 1989 all the way to 1998. They were legit contenders. Remember, in 1989, they were the only team to beat the Pistons that year in the postseason. No one beat the Pistons from the first round to the finals other than the Bulls. So they were a contender in 89, guys. Remember, they weren't supposed to beat the Cleveland Cavaliers in the first round or the New York Knicks in the second round. That's one of the great runs by Michael Jordan that never gets talked about. So they were contenders from 89 to 98. Literally every single year that Michael Jordan was there, they were contenders. And he was doing this while leading the league in scoring, while being one of the elite defenders in the league at the same time. LeBron James can't sniff that, man. He ain't putting those kinds of stats. He'll put up stats now at 30, 38, 39 years old. Oh, LeBron James averaged 25 points a game. And his team was in a 7th seed. His team was in a play-in all year. No one's impressed with that because you're not doing anything else. You're chugging up 20 shots a game, but you ain't playing defense like Michael Jordan was. You're not galvanizing your teammates or building them up in practice. So once again, we talk about the practice routines of these players. Michael Jordan was out there galvanizing the teammates, giving the effort in practice, right? Because it was all about the wins from Michael Jordan. The wins. So he knew to get the most out of his teammates, he had to push them in practice. He understood that. LeBron James ain't figured this out. LeBron James won't even sacrifice to play in an actual system to help his teammates. Meanwhile, Michael Jordan sacrificed many times for his teammates. He sacrificed for Scottie Pippen and Dennis Rodman and Tony Kukoc and Luke Longley and Steve Kerr and Scott Burrell and Ron Harper and Horace Grant and B.J. Armstrong and John Paxson, Stacey King and Will Perdue and Bill Wennington, right? And Bison Dele, right? And Dickie Simpkins and Jason Caffey and Bob Hansen, right? Judd Bushler. He sacrificed for all those guys. They all earned their spot on the team. They earned their role on the team. Because Michael Jordan sacrificed, he allowed that to happen. It wasn't about him and his stats. It wasn't just about him and the money. It was about winning. And he understood, in order for me to win, I need these guys to come along. I need these guys on the same page as me. So like he said in the Last Dance documentary, I pushed guys when they didn't want to be pushed. I pulled guys when they didn't want to be pulled. And what happened, guys? The results were there. This is the difference between Michael Jordan, what he was doing on the court, and LeBron James and these frauds and stats he's been putting up that no one respects. You're putting up all these numbers, but your team ain't winning. Your team is in the play-in every year. LeBron James ain't won MVP in his 30s. In 10 seasons, hasn't won MVP. So what are these stats amounting to? Amounting to nothing. Every year the Lakers are playing the 7th seed. Every year they have not finished above the 7th seed except for the bubble season. So these numbers, these frauds and stats are not equating to wins. Also, is LeBron James playing 82 games every season like Michael Jordan was? No. So he's trying to finagle these stats and put up these numbers, put these averages up, look good. It's easy to average something when you're only playing 50 games. when you're only playing 60 games. So if you're averaging 25 points a game, but you're only playing 60 games, that's much more difficult than Michael Jordan averaging 30 or 28 points or 30 points a game at 33, 34, 35 years old while playing 82 games. But not only just playing the 82 games, you're out there giving the effort on both sides of the ball for those 82 games. So when Charles Barkley laughs at LeBron James still playing all these years, still chasing Michael Jordan, you still haven't passed him in 30-point games, it exposed LeBron James in this fake debate that was never a debate. There is no GOAT debate. I've told you guys on the channel, and I'm going to do a video about that. Someone requested. But there was never a debate. LeBron James was never in a debate. A debate with definitely not Michael Jordan. There's no debate. There's no conversation. Not even. Nothing, guys. And once again, this is what we're talking about. People laugh. No one respects LeBron James' stats because no one ever played for the stats. We never talked about these guys and their stats. What we marveled at was their on-court games. When people talk about Magic Johnson, the reason his name is Magic is because of the way he played the game. It had nothing to do with the number of assists that he got. It was the kinds of assists he was getting. It was the spectacular nature of those assists. That's what made him Magic, right? Magic, with all the weird things that he was doing with the ball, the creativity that he had. That's what made him Magic Johnson. No one celebrated Magic Johnson based off his stats. No one cared, man. I told you, Magic Johnson was getting triple-doubles back in the 80s. No one even cared about these things. It wasn't like that. Oscar Robertson was getting triple-doubles in the 60s. No one cared. No one cared about this stuff, man. It was something that they did because they were great. It went to their greatness. But it wasn't like, oh, they're great because of that. No, they accomplished those feats because they were great. Now we celebrate guys because of the stats they put up. But they're putting up stats on nothing, or doing nothing. So Trae Young could put all these stats up on a mediocre basketball team and he gets celebrated for it. LaMelo Ball, who puts up all these numbers on a crappy Charlotte Hornets team, he'll get celebrated for the numbers he put up. And then they'll say what? Oh, these guys don't have any help on their team. They don't have any help on their team. No, they're not making their team better. They're out there just chugging up shots and accumulating stats, but it's not equating to wins. They're not diving on the floor for loose balls. They're not playing elite level defense. They're not being true leaders. They're not. They're just out there putting up stats. In this era, a lot of guys just do that. They put up stats on a mediocre basketball team, though. No one respects that stuff. That's not what the all-time greats do. I told you, Larry Bird had a 50, 40, 90 season. He didn't know he was doing that. No one knew about that. I never even heard about that. They did these things in the course of greatness, in the course of competing for wins. That's what mattered to them. They were just doing these things. They weren't out there checking the stat sheets. I told you they checked themselves out of games. Larry Bird could have went for 40. He could have went for 50. He could have went for maybe 60. They checked themselves out. This is what Michael Jordan did. This is what the all-time greats did. They didn't go in there and keep pounding on the stats. They weren't in games with their team up 20 playing against the second unit. LeBron James does that. These guys didn't do that. So once again, no one respects the stats that LeBron James is putting up. I did that video the other day. Right? LeBron James put up a triple-double. So on paper, you'll say, damn, LeBron James got another triple-double at 40 years old or 39 years old, right? So they'll say, oh, at 39, 40 years old, LeBron James had X amount of triple-doubles in his season, right? The 2024-25 season. This is what they're going to say. But when you look into the numbers of some of these triple-doubles, they're fraudulent. He'll have 12 rebounds, 0 offensive. Right? The other game, remember, he had 6 points going into the fourth quarter. 6 points. And what happened in that fourth quarter? He came out and stat padded against a second unit, against a mediocre basketball team, with his team up by 20 points. He's in there stat padding, getting that triple-double. So he finished the game with a triple-double. Meanwhile, the Lakers were up by 20 when he had 6 points, 8 rebounds, and 6 assists, or 7 assists. But he finished with a triple-double because he went in there and stat padded. Michael Jordan would check himself out that game. He wouldn't stat pad for a triple-double. There are many games that Michael Jordan could have got 1 more rebound or 2 more assists and got a triple-double. But he checked himself out. Phil Jackson took him out, and he took a seat on the bench. He didn't come back in. That's why no one respects these stats in this weak era. They're chasing these things. It ain't the same. And once again, it's not equating to wins. What wins has LeBron James got over the last 5 years? They're not winning anything. They're barely making the play-in, and then they get eliminated. Even though they're getting all this help from the NBA. All these free throws, all these foul calls in their favor. The schedule, they have all these days off in between games. They don't have as many back-to-backs as they used to do. No 3 games in 4 nights. They don't travel like that. LeBron James was crying about traveling for a preseason game. Oh, why do we got to travel here for a preseason game? Are you kidding me? All the money you're making And you're complaining about going on a private jet to another state that's right, not that far away? No one respects LeBron James. That's why I thought it was funny. Like Charles Barkley laughed. There's no conversation. There's no debate with Michael Jordan. You're not even close. And no one respects these fraudulent stats. These assist numbers are fraudulent and rebounds are weak. This man should have over 15,000 rebounds. Way more offensive rebounds, but he doesn't have them. Where's his steals and block numbers at? No defensive effort. Where's your all-defensive teams? Where's your MVPs in your 30s? No one respects these stats he's putting up on the Lakers. Once again, he's chucking up all these shots to try to get some fake records that no one respects. Oh, LeBron James, the longest 10-point streak, the double-digit scoring streak. That was broken in 2011. Right? Regular season and postseason. That's a legit real record. That's called consecutive games. LeBron James played games, and they don't count them, though? Oh, in the regular season. Of course, when it doesn't matter the most, when the competition gets stiffer, they lower the standard for LeBron James, but for Michael Jordan, he always raised his level of play. That's a standard he held himself to. Don't compare that clown. Don't compare this clown LeBron James to Michael Jordan, man. It's not even close. No one respects this man's stats. You guys know the deal, man. The true basketball fans are standing up. Real recognize real. And LeBron James has taken away from the league. And he ain't that dude, man. You guys know the deal, man. I'll catch you guys on the next one.